Here today with Cody Romness, co-founder of Allegiant Gym. They're a boutique gym specializing in conditioning training. They've come over to Sendblue and they've got 76% response rates with iMessage, which is over double their SMS response rates that we're going to hop into and actually look under the hood inside of their Sendblue account and talk about all the amazing strategies that Cody is using to get more clients for his gym. Cody, thanks for hanging out with me.
Heck yeah, man. Let's talk.
Let's talk. I'm just going to share my screen here. Boom. And we're going to show no people's personal information.
Yep.
I look at a 67% overall, a 76% iMessage, a 33% SMS. That's over the last week. That's definitely double. That's on 74 conversations. I wouldn't call you a power user by any means of Sendblue with thousands of leads per day, but I would call that significant. What's going on here? Walk us through what's happening.
Yeah, we launched an ad campaign about 20-ish days ago, so call it 3 weeks. And the main thing I was trying to solve was how can I increase the amount of people that connect with us based off these meta ads. And so in the past, it was always like I was using, and I joke with all the Sendblue people, it's like a very 21st century conversation, like a green bubble versus a blue bubble. You know what I mean?
Only the United States too. It's a 21st century United States only conversation.
Oh, it's unique to the States. It's not at Europe.
We could probably
It's not doing blues.
They use WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so it's even more niche, 21st century United States thing. But, it's like the idea is as a marketer, you're constantly looking for like, what are the ways that I can fine tune to increase my percentages at each stage of the funnel? So if you're generating leads, but nobody's responding to you, boom, there's your bottleneck that you have to fix, right? So it could be something as simple as what if it was like looking like an iPhone was texting you back and forth. And so that's when I started to kind of like get into thinking about Sendblue and then bring them onto the campaign. So what we're doing is we generate a lead through a meta ad. We've got to speed the lead, which we're outreaching really quick. It feels like a person. It looks like a person. We're initiating a question to kind of get that conversation started. And then I've got a really great team member who's nurturing or kind of working those conversations and then booking calls if it makes sense off of that.
The way you just described it sound exactly like the way my CSM team would describe it to someone. Did you have that knowledge already to ask a question, start a conversation, the way you structure these workflows? Or is that new knowledge to you?
I've been in business 9 years now, and in the trenches of small business, you learn sales. You do things that work, and you do more of those, and you discard things that don't. I had a lot of the infrastructure and sort of the mindset kind of built in through trying to do this on my own for so long. But I think a part of the reason why it's been nice working with Connor and Cam and Sendblue is like I feel like I was already kind of like buying and drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak, where they're like, "Yeah, dude, exactly, that's what you should do." I'm like, "All right, cool." Confirmation bias, yeah.
Heck yeah. This is textbook. Like I don't even have feedback to give you on what we would do here. Hey, contact first name. It's Cody, business owner name. That's really attractive, right? Business owner is reaching out to contact. If they go on what is it, Guilford? If they go on
Guilford, yep.
website, maybe they see like Cody's face or maybe Cody's in the ads or
Yeah, right.
the VIP trainer they associate with Cody. Hey, it's Cody with Allegiant, the new gym opening in Guilford. Send. So awesome. This is awesome. Who told you the little lowercase t? Thanks. Did you write that or that?
Thanks for your interest. The lowercase t, let's give that credit to Sendblue. Maybe that was you guys, but I'm always a big on like thanking people for their interest or thanking them for hopping on a call. It just kind of sets the right tone and the right messaging and the right overall first impression. I think it could be the Midwest guy in me that's just always appreciative and thankful of people. But you know what? Like in a million, whoever ends up watching this, like, look, you have all of these touch points to like showcase your business, showcase your style. And like, if you do little things like that, I believe that those seep into how people perceive you, how they perceive your business, and they stack up. Just being a good, polite person, I think can really help, particularly in a sales conversation when usually people just don't want to, they write you off anyways, And so you're up against a whole lot in the first place.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're up against less when you write like this. Like it might feel like a small thing, that little lowercase t, but like this lowercase t right there, that lowercase w, I can promise if someone is watching right now, they don't write like that inside of their CRM right now. They probably write super formal. It says like, hey, I'm a business. That's what it says. Do you consult for other businesses?
Yeah, sometimes.
So some other gyms or other similar businesses, what do you commonly see people doing here that just they shouldn't be doing at this part of the
They're just too stiff. You're just too stiff, or your speed to lead is, not where it needs to be. Or frankly, they're not texting, like they're still emailing, which is like ridiculous. That how often, just think of your own use cases. Like if you're texting a buddy or emailing a buddy, you probably don't even email a buddy, right? You're just texting them. And so I think that was always huge for me. It's like I didn't want to even, I've got an email nurture sequence on the back end because sometimes you don't want to not have that. And it takes like, 15 minutes with ChatGPT to build out and all your like knowledge and experience, right? So have it, but it's like your whole thing is like, think of it like simplify. You want to start a conversation with somebody. If your next data point or your next pipeline stage is to book a phone call, they're not going to book a phone call with you if you just send them a link right off the bat. Like, yo, here's a link. It's like, hey, start a conversation, get a vibe kind of check. And then if it's, as you can kind of see through the rest of this with my colleague Tiffany, she's doing a really good job communicating with those people like, hey, would you be interested in checking this thing out and chatting a bit more? And then people are booking calls.
They're booking calls. I can see Tiffany. And then this means there's probably an automation, is my guess. We're on about an hour. Feel free to text here if you need anything before. This is great. And then it looks like this is an automation another hour later.
Yeah, it's like, so 6 minutes before the call, they get that one.
Nice. And I love, it's a small thing, but look, you wrote this automation with the lowercase w and then this one with the capital A. And it just looks like someone, it's such a small thing, but it looks like someone like wrote the word out and then they like backspaced and then they like wrote it out again. And that
right.
The blue bubble, they didn't show on this one. That's okay. We'll get them rescheduled. This is awesome. Yep. This is awesome. What would you say to a business owner that's maybe watching this right now and they think they should just go like open the faucet up more on ads and more leads will help solve their problem?
I mean, it might solve their problem if think of it, you've got your pipeline, right? The classic, all the different touch points. And knowing what your numbers are at each of those touch points and your percentages is like important to know, okay, where's your bottleneck? Like, where's the thing that you have to fix? Like, if I knew my numbers coming into Sendblue was, let's just say, 95% response rate, then I really don't have a problem there. You know what I mean? But I was generating leads at our Santa Monica and our other locations, and I was unable to get people to respond using some of the same playbooks of like the sales conversations and initiating a conversation before going through a sale, right? And so I was like, maybe there is something there. So now as I think about, at our South Bay and our other locations, we've redesigned a lot of things where I had a lot of holes in my bucket and I had a leaky bucket. So I redesigned some intro offers. I did all the unsexy work that, as a business owner, you probably have to do, but you're either not doing it, you're not facing it because it's so much work. You got to redesign systems, you got to retrain people, you got to do all that shit, right? But it doesn't mean that it's not going to go away, even as much as you hope it would. So it's like fixing those things, having a much more solid infrastructure, and then being to a point where I know if we get more volume, we're going to be able to capture that volume because I've like fixed some things. Whereas if I just pour more water into the top right now, it's not going to be as efficient on the spend as I would need it to be. And when you're a small business owner and every dollar matters, I got to be accountable to approaching it that way.
How do you approach people in Guilford, which probably a lot of people haven't heard of before? How important is the blue bubble to the relationship aspect of what you're trying to build out there?
Well, I would say of the data that I have right now, it's really working. Looking at the numbers that we have right now, it makes a big difference. Most of the conversation that we're having, I think I did the rough math. It was like out of the 350 conversations total that I've had, 75% are iPhone users. And then, 70% of those are responding back, right? So it's like, okay, then I know that now. Which way is the wind blowing before the campaign actually starts? You would have a guess that most are going to be iPhone users, but then you start getting the data and collecting that, and you start seeing that, okay, a lot more people are responding to it. And I think for us, as we were briefly talking about online, it's like we're a strength and conditioning concept where you come in for structured sessions, training. You've got a coach, you've got a program, you've got a community. And so also that kind of first impression bit where you're communicating with somebody, it looks and feels like a real person. They're answering your questions. It feels like an iPhone. Like all those intangibles are adding up to like, I don't know, make this more sticky. And it's just one other piece of differentiation that you have that Johnny Jim down the block might not be doing. And, in a competitive market like Los Angeles, every single differentiation thing that you can do in a constantly evolving, changing market that is as confusing as fitness people have made fitness to be. Oh, you got to stack all those things in your favor if you want to have the best chance of building a most successful business
over the long run, for sure.
Right.
Cody, that's all my questions for you. This is now the Cody Romness show, because I don't think we have too many people watching that live in Guilford. Maybe they live in LA. And if you live in LA, hit up Cody's gyms. But tell us about Cody. Who's Cody? What does he like to do? What does he like to talk about? How can people get in touch with you?
So I'm at Cody Romness on kind of all the social media handles. I'm most active on Instagram right now. And for that channel, like Allegiant has its own page at Allegiant Gym, which is great as well. It's more like training content. But I think on my page, it's much more like this conversation that we're having right now. It's the business, it's the story of like how do you take an idea and turn it into something, and all the complex system that is a business of marketing, of sales, of operations, of staffing, of like the nitty-gritty tactical stuff of doing something like Sendblue, and how do you even know what to look for, if it's working, and if you should do more of it or not. And what I think I really just love about business is it's like this ultimate dojo. It's this ultimate play for keeps sort of container where yeah, it's like a job, but it's like there's real money on the line. Your livelihood's on the line. If it works, it feels amazing. If it doesn't, it feels horrible, you know? So like part of it is detaching yourself so much from the ups and downs that is like running a business and being so involved in it. But yeah, so it's like that's kind of the stuff that I'm super interested in. I think one important thing that if anybody does see this, one nice thing about Sendblue that you get is you get like a dedicated rep, like a support rep. You've got like the sales rep and a support rep. And my support rep has been awesome. I mean, he helped me with Zapier setups. He helped me kind of with like getting it on HubSpot. It was a little bit of a rocky start for us in the beginning because I was trying to get this thing launched and we had some just tech difficulties hooking up a HubSpot. But he was awesome. He hung in there, and he was really like qualified and competent and succinct and concise. And I think that you don't always get that with support. And so a bit of a tangent, but I think like if anybody does see this and they're like, man, like that guy's got some brick and mortar businesses and he seems to have some of these things figured out, you know, hit me up on Instagram or Cody at CodyRomness.com. And I'd be happy to chat with anybody.
Amazing. Cody, thank you so much. If you're watching, you want to binge more marketing and sales content from Cody, he's a really smart guy. Sounds like he should work for Sendblue, honestly. He used talk tracks that are really, really like. You could go onboard people. Hit up Cody for that. If you want higher response rates, higher show rates, hit up the Sendblue team. Thanks, Cody.
Sweet. Thank you.